We think of Vikings as warriors and raiders. What history avoids is what happened after the fighting stopped. When the shields fell and the screams faded, the real violence began. Not for the dead, their suffering was over, but for the women left alive. Wives, daughters, prisoners. What followed made death seem merciful. The chronicles record the battles. They fall silent afterward, but archaeology does not. Digs in Dublin, Woodkey, and across Viking trade hubs reveal iron shackles sized for women and children, warehouse foundations designed for human storage, and drainage channels meant not for rain but waste. Vikings did not raid only for silver. They raided for people. Women were inventory. Runic inscriptions from Schleswig list prices, 20 silver pieces for a young woman less if injured, receipts carved in stone, but sale was often the best outcome. Irish bog burials dated to post-raid periods show female skeletons with identical trauma patterns, blows from behind, broken ribs, defensive wounds. These were not battlefield deaths. They were executions, carried out days after capture. The women surrendered. They were killed anyway. Viking law made it legal. A defeated warrior's wife became the property of his killer, forced marriage by conquest. Icelandic law codes describe the process. Ownership declared publicly, the woman's consent irrelevant. Rape was lawful. Children born from it were legitimate property. And some women never lived long enough to be claimed. Excavations at Viking camps reveal infant bones discarded in refuse pits. These were not stillbirths. They were deliberate killings, the children of enslaved women destroyed because they could not work. It was economics, not cruelty. Procedure, not rage. Dublin became a processing center for this system. Ships arrived weekly with captives. Warehouses held hundreds at a time. Young women were sent to Norse settlements. Older women were shipped east through Russian river routes to Islamic markets. Arabic records describe fair-skinned northern women sold at premium prices in Baghdad. When women resisted, the punishment was slow death. Burial pits outside Dublin show captives kept alive for days or weeks, legs broken, arms shattered, forced to die crouched in stone-lined holes. Viking law prescribed this for slaves who injured masters. Archaeology confirms it was enforced. But the final revelation comes from Repton. A mass grave sealed during the collapse of Viking power contains hundreds of women. Isotope analysis shows they were not captives, they were Norse. Wives, daughters, killed by their own people to prevent capture. The same execution methods used on slaves were used on them. They knew what awaited defeated women. One skull bears a runic inscription, "Better this way." She was 12 to 14 years old. The sagas never mention this. The chronicles stay silent, but the bones remain, and they tell a story Viking legend never wanted remembered. If you value documented Norse history like this, subscribe. It's the best way to support our work, and comment which city you're listening from.